the show.
Hey yo, back again. Here we are. So yeah, question and answer video. So this will be the answers, and this is also the spot to ask new questions, which I will answer next week. If we have enough questions, I'll answer next week. Otherwise, I'll wait and I'll kind of collect them. But just a request, if you could kind of consolidate the questions to this video. I had a few different places where I had questions. So yeah, just trying to make it easier. You know, I got to read through and stuff. So, yeah, last night did the live stream, had the giveaway, and congratulations to Brian LCS. He was the big wiener of the spicy sausages, and that's all packed up, ready to go. I didn't make it to the FedEx Dropbox in time for the shipment, but I will tomorrow. Yeah, getting that off, and I have a couple other packages that are going to. So, yes, that is done. So that's a cool thing to have that kind of done and out, and congratulations out and everything. So, yeah, thanks for everybody who joined the live stream. I don't do many live streams because I can't add people. It's just me. So we might do more. We'll see. I don't know. Let's get to some answers. What do you guys say? So the first one came from an email. Came from the great Robbie Joseph. And he was asking me to show some of my favorite comics. And I guess I haven't really talked about that. By now, you probably know some of my favorites because some of the ones I show often, or some of the ones I used to have on the wall in the back. But I picked a selection. I think he said 3, but I think I picked more than that. So I'll just show kind of my favorites. The first 2 are the 2 I talk about quite often, where I had copies of these when I was very young. They were like my prized possessions, and I sold them when, the last year I was in the military and the year I got out of the military, to buy Christmas presents. Sold one year, one another year. And it was a thorn in my side for many, 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 many years that I sold those comics. And when I got back into comics recently, so about 2.5 years ago, I bought this one. This is the first appearance of the Punisher. It's Amazing Spider-Man number 129. It's a 9.0 white pager. Yeah, this was one of the comics I sold. I think I sold this first, and it was very painful because I when I was young, I loved the Punisher, and back then this was still like a lot of money for me. I was working as a busboy, so I like saving money for however long to get that. And the second one was one that I bought at a comic convention with my dad in 1987. We were at the Chicago Comic-Con, and convinced him to go in like halves with me because I couldn't afford it on my own. But at that time, I bought a raw copy of Hulk 181. It was all there were raw copies back then, which I sold again another year to buy Christmas presents. And this I was able to buy earlier this year. It's the most I've ever spent on a comic. But it was really, kind of cathartic to buy this. And so, yeah, those are a couple of my favorites. Then we get into kind of like, some of my other general favorites that in my collection. This is like a holy grail kind of comic for me, but Crime Suspense Stories number 22. I love this comic. I loved it before I got it, and at the time, this was the most money I'd spent on a comic when I bought this. Like this was like where I was like kind of like nauseous, and I was like, oh my god, it was like almost $3,000, and I was like, oh my god, and it was like sweating and everything. But it's one of the great comics of all time, and it is the comic which really ended the Golden Age, and was like kind of the final nail in the coffin. I mean, it was ending anyway, but this was the one that they held up at the Senate hearings to Bill Gaines, and where he had this awful response, and yeah, it's my copy of CSS 22, and that I really really love. This is another one of my favorite covers of all time, and one of my favorite comics of all time. This is Witchcraft #5, and I love this. I loved it the first time I saw it when I believe Steppo showed it, and I love looking at it. I think it's like a flawless cover in every way. It's one of my absolute favorites. Yeah. So, and if you saw the art that Adam Up and Adam did for me, he did a Chonko version of this, which was amazing, and I love it. Then a couple of my other favorites that I own, and this is one of my favorite Matt Baker covers. That's Phantom Lady 16. I think it's amazing. I think it's absolutely stunningly beautiful, and really, really a prized comic in my collection. And yeah, one of my favorites. And the last one is something I just think is so cool. It's this. This is the like second edition of the Shadow #10 from 1943. This is a Crawley copy, and this is so it's a pedigree. Really, really, it's high on the census, and there are only like 22 of these on the census. This specific issue, it's rather rare. It's super cool skull cover, and the spider is like weird and creepy and horror kind of like, and crime. It's like everything I like, and it's a pedigree, and it's really high on the census, and very, very rare. So yeah, that's one of my favorites. Then these Brazilian comics I've been getting into are as well, but I've shown those so many times recently I didn't show them here. So next, sorry, I thought I had this already pulled up, and I did not. But the next, so I just want to make sure I get these. Scrolling, sorry, should have been more prepared here. From Sleepy Reader, he asked about he was admiring the Cerebus art on the wall, and what is my approach to artwork. It's twofold. It's first off, it is if I can get something, a one of a kind piece of artwork, and it's or a cool print, and it's going to be something where I can't like, if I can get it very, very inexpensively, like these. So like if you didn't see, I showed these recently, but I still have them in here. This is from a comic called Rage, and it's this really cool like artwork that but I got this on an auction site for $25. That's original art from this comic. It's a fairly obscure comic, but it's really cool art. And I got this for just over $100, and it's from Marvel. Marvel Comics Presents issue 111, and it's page 2, and it's this cool like Werewolf by Night artwork, and I got that just for over $100. So yeah, like that stuff, if I can get that very, very inexpensively, I will always go for original art. Or prints of artists that I like. I think you've seen that I've got a couple of things, like a couple Shabina prints. Got some original Suspiria that's in another room, but yeah, this guy Sean Dickinson. I was talking about him. I really love these pieces. These are prints, but it's an artist that I just recently discovered, and I really like him a lot. So yeah. And then the other one that I had handy here, so I just show it again, is like if I can get something really, really cool, and if I can afford it, But yeah, it was this Johnny Craig crazy thing with the body stuffed in the freezer, and the lady's dropping the plate as she sees it, and the killer's behind her to ready to push her in and stab her. Like, yeah, like if I can get cool stuff and if I can afford it, then I do that. Yeah, the Cerebus. That's an original page from a Cerebus. I think everybody knows I'm a big Cerebus fan. I mean, I have a Cerebus tattoo, which is this cover right here is my tattoo. So, yeah, it's more than you asked, but there you go. More insights into Chonko. So AG, he asked, you clearly have a musical side. What's your history with music and making music? What part does it play in your life now? Since you've had your channel, who would you nominate for winner of the shittiest packaging award? Does Sebastian get an honorable mention? And this goes along with a question that K. Munin asked. He asked about the worst packaging I ever received. We'll take them in order here. Musical side. I was really into music growing up. I've never been like a real talented musician. I play some guitar, but I'm really not good. But I mean, I've been going to like concerts since I was probably like 14, and like 15, 16 years old, I started going to like punk rock concerts, and like I've seen crazy things. Like I saw Jane's Addiction play with like Smashing Pumpkins, one of their very first shows, for it was like $7.50 at the Cabaret Metro in 1987. I saw I used to know Green Day. Like I lived out in the Bay Area when I was in the military, and I knew them. And this is from when I lived out in the Bay Area. This was in San Francisco. This is a Fugazi show, and yeah, this one's the Selector from 1991, the Metro. But yeah, I mean, music was really big for me growing up, and in a way, it was like a release for me and stuff. But yeah, I had a band with some friends. We played together for, I don't know, maybe 6 years, 7 years. They've continued on, the three of them, but they're people I grew up with. Brothers named Scott and Todd, and my friend Jeff. And Jeff's the one who, like, if I'm out of town, he picks up packages, like, from the front of my stoop and stuff. Jeff's supposed to send me some pictures from the band. I have some, but I'll show them here. And yeah, I mean, some beardless Chonko with hair, I'm sure, some other stuff. But yeah, it was fun. It was fun while it lasted, and it was one of those things where at a certain point I just I didn't see the point in doing it anymore. For me, it was just kind of like we weren't really doing anything. So but they've continued on, and they kind of like, but it's mostly just kind of jamming in the basement right now. I've gone back and played a few times just with them, just in the basement, just goofing around, and doing the songs. So the intro, that's my former band, and me, and Dirty Rotten Comic Flipper, and we're going to be doing a song called Nerd Stink. I have the lyrics all kind of worked out, I think. It's coming. I just, have to find the time, and they have to have the time, and we get together, and it's kind of like messing around with it and see exactly how serious we want to make it. Like if you heard Dirty Rotten Comic Flipper, it's really, really amateurish. It was like done in one afternoon. It could have been polished up a little bit better, but I thought it like kind of it was fine for what it was. So did I answer all that? what part does it play in my life now? I still love music, but not really doing much like with it other than on the channel here. And like I said, I think I have 2 songs that are in the works. One, the first one is going to be Nerd Stink, and I think the other one is Nerds Like Pretty Girls. That'll be the other song that I've kind of messed around with. And then Worst Packaging. Both you and Came in and asked about that. It was this comic that I received. It was very inexpensive. You can still see a crease on it. This was in a paper envelope and was completely folded in half in my mailbox. Like there was nothing to this. It was just a comic in a paper envelope, and it was trash. And I wrote to the guy. I was like, "Look, this is terrible. What are you doing?" And he's like, "Oh, I've said comics that way many times." Like, total dickhead, like, yeah. So I was trying to send it back to him. He wouldn't take it, and then trying to negotiate with me, like, "Oh, well, what if you just?" And eventually, I was just like, "All right, whatever, man." And he was like, "I'll give you half the money in a refund." It wasn't that much anyway, so I was just like, you know what? It's not worth getting my blood pressure. My blood pressure had already been sky high when I opened the damn thing, but yeah, stupid, dumbass. So no, I don't think Sebastian's just funny because of the Never-Ending Story reference, and yeah, it just, when I do this stuff and when I say these things, none of it is planned. It just kind of comes out, just, vomits out of me. So like, yeah, Sebastian, or when I'm doing the top 25 list, I'm saying these things, or goofing on people when I'm like, none of it's planned. I don't like have a script or anything. It's just kind of like whatever I'm feeling. I just kind of I blurt it out and say it, and that's what happened with the Sebastian. That's what happened with the the voices or whatever. It's just whatever. Yeah, the goal is for this to be authentic and to be kind of exactly how I am, and not like planned and poured over and edited like that. That's not me. But, Alan, Comic Collector Geek. He said, which runs are you working on other than Witch's Tales? So, I mentioned it a little bit, but I am trying to complete the Boris the Bear run. I have a couple more that are arriving. It's so hard because anytime you get a Boris the Bear, it's like terrible packaging. Like the people just don't care about it at all. It's so bad. So that I kind of took a break from that. But yeah, Witch's Tales, Boris the Bear. I'm trying to complete the whole thing. Faust, I'm kind of sort of working on that, but that's kind of like a minor thing. Same with Lois Lane. It's just kind of when I can find one cheap, I pick it up. I have a lot of them, but I like a lot of the early issues I'm missing, and I'm missing the big one. Like the Lois Turns Black one. That's kind of the one I really want. Yeah. And what else am I working on, really? I've mentioned I might start working on Tomb of Terror. I have a handful of them, and that might be something, maybe crime suspense stories, but that would be very expensive. Yeah, so it's just stuff like that. That collecting runs is not really my thing. It's just kind of, certain things if the opportunity presents itself. Yeah, that kind of stuff is kind of what I'm working on. And Garage Geek. You love horror comics. Did you ever think you'll get into sci-fi, golden, and silver age comics? And what will your celebrations be for winning 1, 2, or 3 CBC awards? I can't think of any more, but if I do, I'll come back. I do collect sci-fi, kinda. When this is more artist related for me, so it's not like I'm out really trying to get some. But I just got a couple this week. One just landed today. But I got this one last week. This is this really cool Weird Science. This is a Wally Wood cover. Like Squiggly Monsters, which is always kind of a Wally Wood hallmark from, these types of comics. And Bubble Helmets, the whole thing. ray guns. So yeah, I was able to get that, and got this too. Weird Fantasy number 21 from 1953. This just came today, and it's a Frazetta cover. Yeah, which makes it extra cool. Weirdo bubble helmet stuff, and I don't know why that guy doesn't need a bubble helmet, but fighting the monster and ray guns, bubble, all the stuff. So yeah, I do get those when I can. It's not the focus of my collection. Obviously, the focus of my collection is pre-code horror, pre-code crime. Right? But Silver Age, no, not interested. I'm for Silver Age. I'm only interested in very select comics. I mean, the Lois Lane is maybe the only thing that I'm collecting from that. But I just think Silver Age is mostly goofy, and I think the covers are usually kind of bad, with some exceptions. There are some great covers, but most of the covers in the Silver Age, as I said in the top 25, I think most of them are goofy and silly, and I don't really like them that much. But I do like the campy Lois Lane covers and a couple other ones, but mostly I don't really like them that much. So no, I would not be going after the Silver Age sci-fi. And celebrations for winning awards. This made me think. I think what's going to happen is I'm going to do a giveaway. I'm going to share the wealth. So if I win something, we're going to have a giveaway, and it'll be it's like there's part of me that's tempted to say, if I win one award, it'll be like certain level, 2 awards, like hold on, I gotta sneeze. Whoa. But I don't want to rob other people of awards. Like, if they're in the same category, I'd be happy with one. And, specifically the best new channel. I mean, like, if people really think, like, no, I think you are the one that deserves this, that's fine. I mean, vote for, if you voted for me in the other categories, I think that's what I'll do. If I win an award, I'll do, it's going to be a giveaway, and it'll be the biggest giveaway I've done. So, like, if everybody saw the giveaway that Brian LCS won, he won a lot of cool stuff. And I dropped a couple extra things in. Things I know Brian would like. So, yeah. That's the hook, everybody. So, yeah. If I win an award, we're going to do a giveaway. And it'll be the biggest giveaway I've done. It'll be, I'll have to think about it, but it'll be like way above the other. I've done 3 giveaways so far. This will be the biggest one. So that'll be the celebration. I'll bring everybody into it. Let's see. I'm trying to see if there were any that I missed. I think that I covered all of the questions this time. So yeah, if you have any other questions, please just ask them down below here. Again, I mean, within reason. I mean, like, if you just questions about me, questions about comics, questions about anything that I can answer, and I will do my best to answer below. Thanks for everybody to ask questions, and yeah, if we get enough, I'll do one next week. If not, it might be every other week kind of a thing. So that'll be kind of how it is. Yeah, but happy Monday. I hope your Monday went well. The week's gonna go fine. I didn't get to do a Sunday video because of the stream, but you're an adult. You can handle it. You're gonna be able to make it through this week. I promise you. Chonko supports you. Chonko's on your side. I'm behind you, and I'm telling you, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be able to do it. Yeah, that's all I had. I hope you're doing well. I hope the people in your life are doing well, and I hope your week goes great. That's all I got for now, buddies. Bye.